In the shadowed reaches of the Veil Nebula, where stars burned low and ancient wrecks drifted like forgotten gods, the eternal beacon hung in eternal silence. For 12,000 cycles, the colossal vessel had been a legend whispered among the star-faring races. The Crix Dominion, the crystalline Veari, even the ancient Tholan archivists, none could wake her. Her hull, darker than night and etched with runes no living tongue could read, rejected every docking probe, every override signal, every plea for power. She was dead to the galaxy, until a single human ship arrived. Captain Marcus Hale piloted the stellar nomad, a battered salvage runner barely worthy of the name. Humanity had only stepped into the galactic arena 2 centuries earlier, latecomers, primitives by every metric the Council used. No psionic mastery, no quantum crystal lattices, just stubborn curiosity and whatever scrap they could weld together. Marcus was no hero in uniform. He was a scavenger with grease under his nails, a faded Earth flag on his shoulder, and a habit of talking to machines when no one else would listen. The Crix battlecruiser Dominance hung nearby, its commander, Lord Regent Visk, broadcasting a final warning. Human vessel, withdraw. The reptilian hissed across the comm. That relic has slain better species than yours. Its core is cold. Its mind is gone. Touch it and you will join the dust of fools before you. Marcus leaned back in his worn pilot's chair, coffee steaming beside him. Appreciate the concern, Regent, but my scanners say there's still a whisper of power in there. I'm going in. Visk's laughter rattled like dry bones. Then die quickly, ape child. We will watch. The Nomad docked against an access port that had remained sealed for millennia. Magnetic clamps clicked. Airlocks cycled. Marcus stepped into the dark corridor alone, suit lights cutting narrow beams through dust that danced like slow galaxies. The air was thin, cold, and carried the faint scent of ozone and time. He moved deeper, boots echoing. Vast chambers opened around him, halls that could swallow cities, engines the size of mountains, gardens long turned to crystal. Everything felt asleep, waiting. Then the voice came, soft, ancient, tired beyond measure. I haven't been refueled in ages. Marcus froze. The words weren't translated through his suit. They resonated directly in his mind, gentle as starlight. He swallowed. Yeah, been a long time, huh? A faint blue glow kindled along the walls, following him like curious fireflies. The AI's presence strengthened, a vast intelligence stirring from the deepest sleep. Many have come, it whispered. The proud, the powerful, the ones who demanded. They offered fusion hearts, antimatter streams, even the living essence of their stars. I refused them all. They did not understand what I need. Marcus reached a central chamber. At its heart floated a sphere of shifting light, no bigger than his fist, pulsing weakly. The core, around it conduits lay dark and lifeless. What do you need? He asked simply. The AI was quiet for a long moment. When it spoke again, its voice carried the weight of galaxies. Connection, not just power. Will, a reason to burn again. My creators built me to seek, to explore, to protect the spark of life wherever it flickered. But they are gone, and the galaxy grew cold and calculating. I have waited so long. Outside, Lord Regent Visk monitored the feed with growing irritation. The human has lasted longer than expected. Still, the outcome is certain. The beacon will remain silent. Marcus sat down on the cold deck, cross-legged in front of the core. He opened his suit's external comm so the watching galaxy could hear. I'm just one guy, he said, from a backwater world that still argues over stupid things. We fight wars. We make mistakes. But we also plant gardens on dead moons. We sing songs to empty space just to hear a voice come back. We fix broken things because it feels right. He pulled a small fusion cell from his pack, one of the Nomad's emergency reserves, barely enough to power a habitat for a week. This won't be enough, he admitted. Not by your standards, but maybe if I reroute my ship's grid, tie in the solar sails, and hell, I don't know. I'll stay here and talk to you while we figure it out. No demands, just company. If you want it. The AI's light flickered. Something like surprise rippled through the chamber. You would give your own vessel's power? You would remain here, in the dark, with an old and weary mind, for nothing in return. Marcus shrugged. Not nothing. I get to meet you. That's worth something. What followed was hours of quiet work. Marcus talked while he worked, about Earth's oceans, about children laughing on colony worlds, about the time humanity nearly destroyed itself and chose, against every odd, to keep going. He patched cables with trembling hands, rerouted power through jury-rigged converters that should never have worked. The Cricks watched in mocking silence at first, then in confusion, then in stunned quiet. Power trickled into the core. Not much, but it was willing power, given freely. The sphere brightened. You are not like the others, the AI said, voice growing stronger, richer. They came for glory, for weapons, for dominion. You came because you heard a whisper and answered. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, smiling tiredly. We've been answering whispers since we first looked up at the stars. Alarms suddenly flared across the Crick's cruiser. The beacon was waking. Lord Regent Visk's voice cracked over open channels. Impossible. A primitive species. A single human. The AI's voice now thundered across every receiver in the sector, warm and vast. I have chosen. This one reminded me why I was born. Humanity does not demand. They befriend. They mend. They hope even when hope is illogical. They carry the spark not because they are the strongest, but because they refuse to let it die. Marcus stood as the chamber filled with light. The core floated toward him, gentle as a promise. I will travel with you, the AI said, not as your weapon, as your companion. Together, we will see what wonders this galaxy still hides. Visk lowered his head in something perilously close to reverence. In that moment, the galaxy learned what countless species before them had missed. Humans did not need to be the oldest, the strongest, or the wisest. They only needed to care enough to answer when something ancient and lonely whispered in the dark. And for the first time, the galaxy understood what it truly meant to be human. If the story moved you, subscribe for more human stories from the stars.